Welcome to this week's episode of Coffee Talk. If you've just joined, Coffee Talks are these short in-between episodes where we read your user-submitted stories, hang out with friends, talk about whippy, or chat with you about what's going on in our personal practice.
So, if you want to be featured on Coffee Talk, email us at submissions@coffeecauldrons.com, or you can send us your submission on our website, coffeeandcauldrons.com. You can send us your tips, your ghost stories, or any kind of funny story you think the community would love to hear. Be sure to let us know if we can share your name, or if you'd prefer to be anonymous, your social media usernames are also a great way to get credit.
This week, we are going to just kind of do a little catch up on some witchy pop culture stuff and read a few more of your user-submitted ghost stories.
I'm very excited. I've been loving doing the ghost stories so far.
Me too. It's been really fun.
It's been so
and I
good.
appreciate the fact that everybody has been submitting them, and we haven't you know what I mean? They just keep coming, and it's been so good. I will say. Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think everyone loves a great ghost story. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I will say before we get started, I want to remind everyone that we have a class coming up on Patreon. I don't know why I'm singing it. I know why. It's because I'm a piece of trash. Anyway, on September 24th, we are having a class held on Patreon for the library tier and up. This will be a class on heathenry basics, which I'm pretty excited about. It's going to be about 2 hours long. Anybody who's in the library tier up and up can join, and I will be recording it. So that way, in case you want to see it and you join the library tier, but you miss it for whatever reason, you can still see the class.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then we also dropped a bunch of Halloween merch. Yes. And it's pretty specifically geared towards our ghost stories that we've been sharing. And I think that they are so cute. So cute. Robin's is all retro-ish and they're just so cute. Because we each design individual ones. And but we hope you guys like them. I like them.
Yes.
I want to buy everything.
Like them. I'm gonna order some. I also made sure to do baby sizes this time around, because I'm gonna order some for my own kid. And Maria did some really cute water bottles and coffee tumblers that are so freaking cute. The spirits one with the metal tumbler, it looks so cute.
Yeah, it says I like my coffee with spirits.
So
great
cute.
Pun.
It's literally
Such a
so
good
cute.
Pun.
She's very funny.
Oh, I was so proud. Robin and I decided we're going to do 2 designs each. And then I had this epiphany at night and I was like, I got to do it.
It looks so cute. So I totally get why.
Can we talk about how it's Mercury retrograde and you're what's going on?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys are going to see this portion of it because we've only been really recording video for social media. But I've got a light. I couldn't find my light last time, so I was horribly backlit. It was really bad. And this time I've got my light all set up or whatever, and it keeps going out. Retrograde is really popping off this time.
It's so good. So good. Oh no.
And it's going to be this way until October 9th.
Do not like that. And then you go through the whole shadow thing.
It's fine. I'm doing really well. I don't know about you, but I am for sure live, laugh, loving my best experience.
I am quickly learning all the oils that I've made for Mercury retrograde have a certain point where they stop, where they've rubbed off or something. That's when something wrong will happen. So,
oh my gosh.
I think it's because the other Mercury retrograde, the one previous, this one went so well. Mm-hmm. It was fine. And now it's the universe, you know what? We need to humble you.
Yeah, literally though. Like, I have had it pretty easy the last few times too, and I'm not saying necessarily that I've had it bad this time or anything like that. Like, it's not that bad. I'm definitely not dying or whatever, but I have had these little moments where I'm just like, sure, why won't my light go off every 5 seconds? Sure. Why can't I, get my camera to work? That was user error though. I kept hitting the record button instead of the power button like a dummy. Really not my greatest moment.
So this episode's going to be a little different. We're going to start off with like our, we're going to talk about some witchy pop culture, like just things that we're digging, that it's kind of like, what we as creators are loving, but instead we're going to talk about like movies, books.
Yeah, just stuff that we're consuming presently, if you will.
Yeah.
I guess that's a way to phrase it.
Yeah. And I think, especially around like this season, like we're all like consuming a lot of like witchy things more than usual, because I mean, I'm not going to say that Practical Magic has been playing repeat in my home since I haven't watched it September.
Yet this season. For those of you guys who don't know, like, it was like 2 or 3 years ago, Maria's child shamed me, okay, because I'd never seen Practical Magic, and basically was like, I really liked Robin until I found that out. So, of course, obviously, I immediately fixed it and went and watched Practical Magic, and it was great. But I'd never seen it before that. So I'm, like, kind of new to Practical Magic in terms of, like, I don't know, the big grand.
I just don't think they realize, like, movies have been like a huge part of like my childhood, and obviously now their childhood. So we watch a lot of movies, or have. Right. And I don't think they realize that there's a lot of people who don't do that.
we consume a lot of media as well. Well, not a lot. That's especially since the baby's been born. We really don't consume that much media at all, because like I'm really worried about them. Those like little kids that watch too much TV and then they like flip out when you take it away or you turn off the TV. I'm concerned about that. So we've been trying to like limit it. They get like a show a day, or we watch a movie a week with them. But Frank and I watch a lot of like media. In October, we have 30 Days of Horror that we do, and we watch a different like Halloween.
Oh, we do that too, yeah.
Movie every day, right? And it doesn't have to be scary, because my husband's afraid of scary movies.
I'm gonna be honest, I am too, but
you guys are such babies. Why is it that both my spouses are like this?
One second. I love ghost stories, but I can't watch gore. I can't watch like blood squirting and stuff.
Gore doesn't bother him. It's like actually scary stuff. If it has ghosts in it,
the complete opposite.
If it has ghosts in it, he's like, get me out of here. We watched Host during COVID. If you guys haven't seen Host, you definitely should watch it. It is less than an hour long. It's a Zoom call. The movie takes place on a Zoom call, which was 60 minutes at the time that, this was done. And they do like a seance, but the people in the seance, basically like half of them are making fun of it. And then like the ghosts don't like that. And therein lies the rest of the movie. But it takes place on this Zoom call, and it is like, it's very Blair Witch Project-y, where it feels like it's actually happening. And it was so scary. Like, I was so terrified. And I made him watch it with me, and he was just like this the whole time. Like, he had his phone, and he was like, yeah, this is a great movie. Like, takes it his phone, just absolutely terrified.
That's so funny.
So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to
consuming all this stuff.
Yeah.
Same. So, do you have like a little witchy thing that you've been consuming?
Yeah, so this is going to sound so stupid, and everybody's going to be like, okay, Robin. But I am really getting back into Kiki's Delivery Service. Have you seen that movie?
Have I seen it?
You never know. I mean, I assume everybody is like a Ghibli fan, Studio Ghibli fan like me, and then I'm always wrong.
Oh,
so.
I am. So like that and Spirited Away, I could watch over and over and over again. Like,
and it's
so
like,
good.
I love Kiki's Delivery Service because first of all, it's obviously just like such a cute film, but it also is like taking this idea of like a witch and making it so whimsical and like sweet. And I think that especially when you look at like things like pop culture, we are oftentimes really portrayed as like
evil,
kind of anti-Semitic tropes, if we're being honest. And it's true, you know, and
especially in cartoons like that, you know. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, not just that, but like, think about it. Most of the witchy movies are older. And they're pretty like they're evil, they're corrupt, they're possessed by the devil, or it's got like some heavy anti-Semitism, just like being the theme of the film. But they don't, instead of saying, you know, a Jewish person, they say a witch. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just, ugh. And so I enjoy that movie a lot because it's just cute and it's sweet, and she's just delivering her stuff, and she's got her little cat, and it's just so nice. I think it's nice.
Okay, I'm gonna give a spoiler, so if you haven't seen this movie, you need to like just skip ahead 30 seconds. Okay. I will never ever be over Gigi not talking to her again. I mean, I understand the symbolism that she's grown up.
Right. No. Yeah, but no, I know.
I'm not over it. Like, I think that was terrible, and it made my heart really sad because I don't know, because I get, you know, as a witch here, it's all connecting to your inner child, and that's the whole thing about like she's leaving her childhood behind, so she stops talking to Gigi. But no, she should still be able to talk to it.
I don't accept, actually.
No. That's the one part that's so sad.
It's symbolic and stuff, but it is like, I don't know, I like to block that part out of my memory.
We just turn it off.
Well, and like Gigi's my favorite character too in like that entire movie. Like, I think that they're so cute and sweet and funny, and it's like, I don't know if you've ever watched Sailor Moon, but it's got real Luna vibes in terms of like the snarkiness and the little like, you know,
we like the snark. We need the snark.
Little remarks and stuff. And I just think that's such good like comic relief in its own way. So I just block that part out. I just simply don't accept that. Don't pay attention to it, and I move on with my life. It's I recommend it for everyone.
Me too. Yeah. So if you are listening to this point, just maybe turn it off like 5 minutes before it ends. Yeah.
You literally just don't even need to watch that part.
No.
Just emotionally shut down on the inside like I do. And then when people in your life, like Maria, bring it back up, just simply tune out. Didn't happen.
The monkey with the symbols.
What about you? What is pop culture that you're into right now?
So, okay, I haven't finished it yet, so I'm not going to really give too many spoilers because I don't have too many spoilers. But I am reading Wicked Things by Francesca May, and it's basically it's a Great Gatsby, like sapphic witchy book. Like, think Martha's Vineyard, but a gothic romance.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so good. Like you can definitely see the Great Gatsby things at play, but it's like the island, instead of, you know, being somewhere in New York, it's like I think somewhere in England, and it's like crescent shaped, and there's like crows everywhere, and the crows mean a certain stuff in the book. So as you're following along, like, I don't know. And like magic is like outlawed, but there's still, you know, the whole Great Gatsby thing. There's, you know, drinking, but instead of drinking, it's magic. Like they're having these huge parties with like magic, and everyone's getting like their spells done and things like that. It's just, it's so good. And, you know, I'm here for a good sapphic romance. So very good.
You know, I love a good romance novel. We all know this about me. but I don't like the ones where, like, I don't have a problem with romance novels where you can tell the direction it's headed. Like, you know, the ones where they're like, you know, enemies turned lovers trope, right? I don't mind books that do that. I don't like when you can predict the entire book when you're like halfway through. You're like, this is going to happen. And luckily, I feel like that happens way too much in romance novels.
I agree 100%. And like the Great Gatsby influences on this book, it actually doesn't follow it 100%. Like I've gotten to a certain point where I was like, well, that didn't happen, you know?
Okay, so to clarify from my end of things, it is following the same, like, kind of storyline as The Great Gatsby. Not just, like, inspired by it loosely.
Yeah, so it's inspired by it loosely.
That's amazing.
It's so good. Witchy and so good. This is very, very good.
That sounds really cute.
Like, if you want to, I think this is the perfect, like, September book. Like, I'll probably go a little bit more, you know, like, creepier into October.
Yeah, I'm looking for a really good haunting, like, kind of scary book. I want a good scary book.
I'm also reading, at the same time, The Caretakers, which is not witchy, but it's really good. And it's, like, suspenseful and kind of creepy. Very good.
I read the last like scary book that I read was so good until the end. What was it called? It was called like The Haunting or something.
Oh, The Haunting of Hill House, right?
No. Not that. I mean, I've read that book too.
Yeah,
which is incredible. But it was called. Oh, I'm gonna go to my Goodreads. I also saw that my light just went back out again. I'm going to scream. It was like this book that I read. It was really, really scary and good, and it was about like a haunting, but you don't really know if it's a haunting or if this woman is like, you know, suffering from mental health issues. And it was really good until the very end. Like it was like the author just gave up and was like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I've read books that have done that where the author is just like, I'm done with this book.
Yeah, it was just like they gave up on making any attempt to write it. Oh man, this is gonna take too long to find, but it was really good until the end, and I really just don't even know like what the author was doing. If I can find it, I'll put it in the caption because I don't want to make people wait. Oh, The Grip of It. That's what it was called. The Grip of It. I just found it. It was so good. Like it was like, is she being haunted? Like, does she have mold? And like, is this like a mental health episode? Like, what is it? We don't know. And then the end of the book, she was just like, and that's that. And she literally was just like, and everything was fine. Like that was like the end of the book. It was crazy. It was like so suspenseful and so good, and I was loving the book. And I was in a book club at the time when I read it, and everybody was on the same page as me. They're like, this book is so good. It's like so gripping. It's so thrilling and scary, and like you don't know what's happening. And then the end of it, we were all just like, what the fuck was that ending? It was like the author was just like, and I'm done. I just no longer wish to write this.
So skip the last 5 minutes. I'm just kidding.
Literally. Like, it was such a good book until the end, and it was such a shame. Such a shame. Sorry, that was like way off topic, but whatever.
It's fine. This is coffee talk.
This is true. This is true.
Now on to our ghost stories.
I was gonna say we want to do a couple of ghost stories still because we still got them, right?
Yes.
Do you want to read our first one?
Yes. Let me first see. I don't see anything about them saying that I can use their name, so I'm just not going to because they didn't sign off with their name. Okay.
Perfect.
So happy to submit a story. It's a subtle experience, but an experience nonetheless. I love visiting the oldest cities in the US. Every time I go, I feel an incredible incredible connection and presence all throughout the city. I lived in Florida my whole life, so I've gotten to visit St. Augustine multiple times. I went recently as an adult with some friends. It was late at night, and we were making our way out of downtown St. Augustine. And right in the middle of the street is, oh, I'm going to try my best to pronounce this, Huguenot Cemetery. It's supposed to be one of the most haunted, with early settlers and Civil War era Confederates buried there. There is a really big sea grape tree in the cemetery. There was a small branch coming off near the base of the tree. As we started making our way towards the cemetery, the branch was just waving uncontrollably up and down to the side and going nuts. I remember looking at the tree and noticing there was no wind. I couldn't understand why this branch was basically waving at me. As I approached, it stopped moving completely. It was then that I realized something was using this branch to wave me over. I said hi and then continued on my way.
Did you see that video? Did you see that video online of like the girl who was saying that the tree could talk to her, and she would like ask the questions to the tree, and the tree would like wave? Because that is what this reminds me of.
Why did you not send me this? That's so interesting.
I don't know. Like, I mean, it was like a TikTok, so like it was quite cropped, so like it very easily could have been just like somebody behind the person like moving the tree, but it was interesting to say the least.
Hey, I mean, trees communicate with each other and with the world around it, so I mean,
yeah, and I could totally see how it would be maybe like a spirit, like
yeah. Spirit
this user saying, or like actually like the tree itself. I don't know, but it's scary.
It's very good.
Now, our next story, I think I can say their name. They did sign off with it. So this story is from Brianna, and they say, I got married in upstate New York at a very haunted venue in a very haunted area called Valcour. Hope I said that right. The building we rented out had many guest suites. It's known to be a location that hosted Benedict Arnold during the Revolutionary War. The site itself believed to have been a location where the American Army planned and plotted. The site, located on Lake Champlain, I hope I'm pronouncing these places right, is the location for one of the most important battles of the war. The night we got married, everyone had gone to bed. It was probably 2 a.m. I woke up to someone banging on the door downstairs. Figuring it was my best friend Tim, known for partying late, I walked downstairs to open the door. Halfway down the stairs, the banging stopped. I opened the door, looked outside in all directions, and no one was there. I closed and locked the door and went back upstairs before even reaching our room. The banging started again. It was loud. I couldn't figure out why nobody else heard it. Nobody else heard it? Halfway up the stairs, the banging started again, and I ran as fast as I could, shaking my new husband awake. The banging stopped, and that was the last time I heard it. This is a remote location in the country, surrounded by forest, fields, and a lake. The next morning, I asked everyone if they heard it. I don't know how they missed it. I heard it from the other side of the building, and only one person said they thought they heard it. To this day, it still freaks me out. My intuition tells me that it was a soldier from the war. This is how every single person gets murdered in a scary movie.
Well, I was waiting for the black-eyed children thing to drop, because it's like very black-eyed children story.
This is how you die. You know, they can scream when they're like, oh, don't separate, don't, they give you the rules of like how to survive. Rules. You're breaking the first rule. First of all, I would have woken my husband up and been like, "You're gonna go check that." I would never have gone down the stairs.
You're better than me. I would be like, well, guess roommate's gonna be spending the night in their car because there's no way. Like,
there's no way.
No way.
There's no way. This is how you get murdered, especially if it's like a remote area, like they said. Forget about it. Absolutely not.
As soon as it said that in the story, I was like, this
is how we get murdered.
Made the story like 10 times scarier.
It was a remote location. No one around.
God damn it.
What's that movie? The Jordan Peele movie where they're like on a vacation at like a lake house and like the people like try to murder them.
Is it They?
Like there's a lot more.
I don't know.
What?
They? I don't know a lot of. I need to catch up. I've
only seen one Jordan Peele movie, but I don't. It was that one, and I don't remember what it was called. It was very good, and there's a lot more nuance to like what was going on there, but that feels very much so the same vibe. Like you're like at this like nice place in the woods and like secluded, and then all of a sudden just pow, 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 pow. Absolutely
no.
Absolutely not.
As I said, roommate would stay outside.
Yeah, guess what? You are sleeping in a bush. Should have thought about that.
I don't answer my door, period, for like anybody because I know who would be coming over. My wife and I are very introverted people. So like if nothing's planned, it's either like a solicitor or a murderer. So yeah, I'm not
There's no other explanation, everybody. There's solicitor or murderer. There's no possible way that somebody could like say, knock, knock, knock. There's a fire in your backyard. Nope. Not Maria's watch.
Text me.
You got my number. If you don't call or text me, quite simply, I'll just die in this house fire.
It's true. It's true.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's all of our stories that we're going to read today, guys. Yeah.
Those are good.
Do you have any closing thoughts you want to part with, Maria?
No, not really. I guess we could. Have you had anything ghostly happen lately?
I think that there's something in my bus. I can't tell because it keeps happening really, really late at night. I can't tell if it's like just like mom, paranoia, or if there's actually something there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and my kid is having a sleep regression right now, where they keep waking up at like midnight and 3:00 in the morning, screaming bloody murder, which is not like them. This has never happened, even when they were newborn. Like,
stop being creepy, smokeball.
Literally. And every time I keep waking up, I keep feeling like something is at the door. If that makes sense.
Oh no, that makes total sense because I've experienced that before.
Like, I don't know what it is, but, and like I said, because I don't like hear anything, see anything, like, usual tick, checkbox kind of things of like, okay, there's a spirit. I can't tell if it's just sleep deprivation based anxiety, or if it's actually something, but
poor mama.
It's like bothering me.
Fair.
And this Pisces full moon fucked me up, man. I had nightmares every night.
Oh no.
About my kid dying. It was awful. It was awful.
That's horrible.
Yeah. So I think what's just going on is I'm just sleep deprived, and like so I just like feel like something's there when it's not. You know what I mean?
Just cleanse just in case.
I'm literally doing that today. So, yay! All right. Well, I will say thank you, everyone, for joining us this week on Coffee Talk. We hope to see you next week for our regular episodes. You can check out our website for the links to our submission form, or you can just shoot us an email at submissions@coffeeandcauldrons.com to tell us any of your ghost stories, witchy stories, tips, or topics that you might think that the community would love to hear.
Oh my gosh, I am totally on the ball. I promise. I was just listening to you talk. So, as always, if you enjoy Coffee and Cauldrons, please take a moment to review us on Apple Podcasts. Or if you want to support us directly, consider joining us on Patreon, where we share articles, special Part 2 exclusive episodes, have a Spell of the Month box, and a Discord.
And classes now.
Oh, yeah, and classes and merch. But thank you guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.